morning, everyone. This is RangerRob, and welcome to the RangerRob Country Living channel. And want to welcome all the new subscribers. Had some great comments. Try to share a little bit of some of the local things that we've had going on here with gardening and hydroponics. Today I wanted to kind of talk about, and also we'll go check out the garden and stuff, is the news. Yeah. So I just saw a friend of mine over in Rhode Island do his name's Gene, just did a video about he doesn't watch the news, and neither does Sherry and I. We don't watch any of the prime time news anymore, NBC, ABC, CBS, because when you really pay attention, you can really see the opinionated sides of things and the agenda that's being pushed. And I don't want the agenda. I just want the news. And I don't disagree with everything that a liberal side says or a conservative side says. I just want the news. And our local news does okay, but when they go to report things that may be affiliated to the bigger networks, they tend to throw in opinions and commentation or comments that just don't need to hear. So what we do is we watch a lot of alternative news through YouTube, and the only, say, national news we are subscribed to is Fox. However, we don't watch a lot of all the shows that show up there, but what's kind of nice is they only give us segments of just certain subjects. And so if I see a segment that I'm interested in from something from Tucker or maybe Hannity or something like that, then we'll watch it. And if it goes into the show and it starts to sound opinionated or biased, we just turn it off. That's what adults do. If you don't like something, you turn the station, you turn it off. And so that's what we do. And then on our phones, Sherry and I both have apps of our local news and apps that give us world news, and we'll read those articles if they interest us. So we are on top of things, and we do pay attention to our weather and things like that. But the stress level is definitely reduced by not listening to biased news, one side or the other. And that seems to help a lot. So I made it out to the garden here. Everything's looking pretty good. I am going to turn on the water for the corn, which is real simple. I just have a little lever right here. Turn this right here, and the corn will run the watering. I'm not running nutrients into it today, but I'll run that for like an hour and make sure they get a good watering. And then every morning I always check all the tanks. I know I've got to probably change the tank or add water to the tank for the Dutch buckets. So I'm gonna shut off this segment and move on to getting some chores done, which I don't need to bore you with. Alright guys, so one of the biggest challenges of my NFT system, which is right here, is we knew that, sorry, I've been wrestling with something I'll show you in a minute. We know that when you grow beans in NFT, they have very, very aggressive roots. So what I tried to do on one side here is I did my holes every 3 feet apart, and then over on this other side we did them at 2 feet apart to give room for the roots to grow. That was not enough. So every once in a while my NFT starts to leak, and I used to think it was my angle. Turns out it's the roots. So I already did the other side, but this side started leaking, and I had it leaking right here, and also a bean plant over there. And just to give you an idea, this is what I pulled out, all that. Now so far I've been able to pull these out, leave a few inches, put it back in, and the plant doesn't seem to freak out. But that is a lot of roots. That's just 2 plants. So that's one of the drawbacks. I probably should have gone with 4-inch pipe, but I think I'd still have the same problem with a 4-inch pipe. So in the future, I may not do beans and NFT again, or just be aware that you got to thin out the roots, or you'll start clogging up your NFT flow. And of course, these just end up in my compost bin. There's a lot of roots. So there's some hydroponic NFT growing green beans information that you might want to know about. Alright guys, I'm over here, my camera set up, over here in the tower system with the strawberries, and I swear every week I got to come out here and start cutting these runners off, because they tend to take a lot of energy away from the strawberries. And I mean, I got lots of them, look at them, and I just did that last week. So strawberries are always trying to plant themselves someplace else. That's a good thing, but I want to keep the energy into the fruit. And so, by the way, this one looks like it's ready to eat. I better test it. So guys, it's time for me to start cutting runners. Well, I managed to get all my tanks filled up. I had to refill one of this tank here. This is the one that was leaking that I had to fix with the roots. Had to refill strawberry towers, and of course the Dutch buckets, and with the tomatoes. And I've got some things I hand water, and just never got around to making those automated. So yeah, busy morning, definitely warm. I think it's time for some lemonade. Well guys, it's a little later in the day. Got my lemonade, and it's definitely time for me to feed my fish here at the pond. And just kind of follow up on what we were talking about earlier, is Sherry and I definitely enjoy the fact that we don't watch as much news. It seems like they always want to keep people in fear, and I do say we do embrace what's going on around us in the world. And our media, a lot of times, they just want to highlight the stuff that'll make you click and watch, and they're not really interested in really giving us just downright the facts. From the jab in the arm thing, they don't seem to quote exactly what's going on medically, and they tend to push their agendas. And I urge everybody to just go to the facts of, if you want to know something about the jab, you go to the different websites that actually specialize in the medical news about that stuff. It's always important to know what's going on in Israel and what's going on around the world. Climate change, all that stuff is, there is facts out there. And try to get the facts and not the propaganda, and you'll feel better, and life will feel better to you when you know really what's going on. It's not as bad as it seems in some cases, and there's a lot of worrying that we're all doing that we don't need to do. But right now I got to worry about feeding these crazy fish. So guys, I want to thank you very much for watching. Please take the time to like and subscribe and share our videos all over. It helps feed 2 dogs, a German Shepherd that chases butterflies, and a chocolate lab that's just way too smart. They eat a lot of food, and your support like that definitely helps our channel. So guys, have a great day. We'll talk to you later, and let's go feed some fish. Bye now.
This video is made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available in Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.